You've probably seen some companies offering long warranties, 10 years or more. But here's something important to consider. Can a company without a long track record truly back that up? It's easy to make promises, but what really counts is the ability to deliver, not just now, but 5, 10, or even 20 years down the line. If a company hasn't been around for very long, what happens if they go out of business before the end of their 10-year warranty? What happens to your warranty then? The answer is simple. You're left with nothing. No support, no repairs, no protection. You've essentially been robbed of the protection you were promised. At Mallet Buildings, we've been here for the long haul, with over 2 decades of experience. We have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and countless satisfied customers who can tell you, when we say we offer a 10-year workmanship warranty, we've proven it time and time again. And if something goes wrong years from now, we'll still be here, ready to make it right. Our customers trust us because we don't just build structures, we build long-lasting relationships. We use only the highest quality materials, kiln-dried, ground-treated lumber, and MCA ground-treated posts with lifetime warranties. That's why our buildings are designed to stand strong for decades, and why we can confidently stand behind our warranties. And don't forget, we're a state-licensed contractor with licensed engineers right here in Louisiana and Texas. We don't cut corners, and we adhere to the highest standards, ensuring that every building we construct is built to last. When you choose Mallet Buildings, you're choosing a company with real credentials, real experience, and a proven commitment to quality. We've built for families, businesses, farms, and more, all with the same dedication to excellence that's been our hallmark for over 25 years. So when a company tells you they're offering a long warranty, ask yourself this: where will they be in 10 years? If they disappear, so does your warranty. Here at Mallet, you know we'll be here, just like we've always been. At the end of the day, a warranty is only as good as the company that stands behind it. Choose the name that's been trusted for decades. Choose Mallet Buildings. When you're ready to invest in a building that lasts, call us and let's get started. At Mallet Buildings, we've been proudly serving our community for over 25 years. When it comes to building structures that last, experience matters. You've probably seen some companies offering long warranties, 10 years or more. But here's something important to consider. Can a company without a long track record truly back that up? It's easy to make promises, but what really counts is the ability to deliver, not just now, but 5, 10, or even 20 years down the line. If a company hasn't been around for very long, what happens if they go out of business before the end of their 10-year warranty? What happens to your warranty then? The answer is simple. You're left with nothing. No support, no repairs, no protection. You've essentially been robbed of the protection you were promised. At Mallet Buildings, we've been here for the long haul, with over 2 decades of experience. We have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and countless satisfied customers who can tell you, when we say we offer a 10-year workmanship warranty, we've proven it time and time again. And if something goes wrong years from now, we'll still be here, ready to make it right. Our customers trust us because we don't just build structures, we build long-lasting relationships. We use only the highest quality materials, kiln-dried, ground-treated lumber, and MCA ground-treated posts with lifetime warranties. That's why our buildings are designed to stand strong for decades, and why we can confidently stand behind our warranties. And don't forget, we're a state-licensed contractor with licensed engineers right here in Louisiana and Texas. We don't cut corners, and we adhere to the highest standards, ensuring that every building we construct is built to last. When you choose Mallet Buildings, you're choosing a company with real credentials, real experience, and a proven commitment to quality. We've built for families, businesses, farms.
Hey folks, how y'all doing? Trent Clark here. Happy Tuesday to you. We got a little show for you today talking about your foundation, and stuff like that. Let's get started. Okay, today, as always, we're going to give $500 discount every week to your military personnel, healthcare worker, educators, and first responders. If you're one of those people and in search of a building and want to buy a building, make sure you take advantage of this $500 discount. Okay, and as always, on our signature and our elite series, you can get an extra $1,000 off by typing in cash under a live feed just like this one. All right, referral program. This is we give these checks out every week, folks. Our referral program works. It's real. So if you know somebody out there and needs a building, refer them over to us, and we'll get you that $200 check. Okay. Building series. Let's talk about our building series. Okay, you got the value building. This is the building that we've been having specials on for the past weeks. We are going to come up with some new specials. We're going to go to probably some elite specials this week. Right now we don't have them ready, but we are going to get to it. But right now let's talk about the value. Okay, so all of our buildings has kiln dried MCA treated lumber. On the value, you get 4-inch 4,000 PSI microfiber in the concrete. Remember, you get that in the full volume of the concrete. The 4,000 PSI is going to be 33% stronger than 3,000 or 3,500 that maybe our competitors use. Okay, so on the value series, you also get the engineered cable retention system. This is something I'll show you in a slide coming up. Nobody else does this in the business. It helps with the uplift. Okay. You're going to get concrete on all of our building, included in the value building. You're going to get concrete under every post. This serves as a footing under the post so it can't sink. On our value series, you get the 2x6 scissor truss standard now. Okay, our competitors are charging for it. Right now, our value buildings is 130 mile an hour wind. We are standardizing some things. We could see the wind rating improve on the bigger buildings on the value. Okay, so that is our value building. Let's go to the signature building. A signature building is going to be an upgrade from the value. You're going to get 2x8 scissor truss. On the value, you got 2x6. So on the signature, you get 2x8. On the value, you got 4-on-12 roof pitch. On the signature series, you get 5-on-12 roof pitch. All of our buildings come standard 26 gauge. Metal on roof and wall. Most of our competitors, folks, are using 29 gauge, so don't let them fool you. You get on the signature series, you're going to get the roof and wall insulation. You still get the 4-inch 4,000 PSI concrete that has microfiber in it. You get 2 10x10 roll-up doors. You get a 6-year workmanship warranty, and of course you get all our engineered ollie log screws. Lifetime screws. You get 4x4 on framework and windows, concrete under every post just like you saw in the value, and on all our lean-tos you're going to get mono truss, engineered mono truss instead of rafters. That is a big deal. You saw some of them pictures where, well, I'll show you soon, where some of the wings have collapsed. That's because they use rafters and they spaced them too far apart. We build all of our engineered truss, including our mono truss, are engineered to withstand those loads. Okay, so on the elite package, this is the building that nobody else builds. Actually, all of our building nobody else builds. The elite is #1 in the country, folks. Why? Because you're going to get all of this stuff. Okay, everything that the signature series came with and the value, plus you're going to get a 10-year workmanship warranty. On the elite, you do get the 2x8 scissor truss. We're going to tighten up our post spacing and our truss spacing. You get 9-foot post spacing, 3-foot truss spacing. You get 2 10x10 roll-up doors. You're going to get the 5-on-12 roof pitch. You get roof and wall insulation. On the elite package, we are throwing in free gutter and gutter brushes. This is a $20 plus linear foot value around your building. We're giving you that. Okay, you're going to get 6-inch. Okay, 1.5 times stronger than 4-inch. Okay, and it's the 4,000, so that's 33% stronger than 3,000 PSI or 3,500. All right, so that's important. That is a huge upgrade on the elite package. You are going to get post protectors. You're going to get insulated windows on this Elite package and everything else that it came with. You are going to get the continuous ridge vents, Wayne coating. We're throwing that in there. It's an added expense. We're giving that to you. This building is rated at 145 mile an hour wind load, okay? So let's talk about forming and concrete. What is the process? How do we do that? Here we go. All right. Fill sand and foundation. So proper foundation is crucial. The concrete slab is only as solid as the pad beneath it, okay? A lot of people don't understand that, but I'm going to try to do my best to tell you. Poor preparation can lead to crack settling and structural failure. Industry standards require proper site prep, including soil compaction. We recommend that you get a compaction test and you get a professional to do your pad. All right? And we're going to ask you to sign a piece of paper in the contract saying that we asked you to do that, or we recommended you do that. Okay? Degrass. I'm going to show you some pictures. What do I mean by that? Degrass the property. Excavate topsoil to clay pan. We're going to dig out the topsoil and get to the hard clay pan underneath. Okay, use 60-40 clay mix to come fill that void. I'm going to show you some pictures. Expand the pad 5 foot beyond the building parameter. So if you're going to build a 30 by 50 building, really to be optimal, we want you to go a minimum of 5 foot. So it would be, 5 foot on each side. So now you're talking about 30 by 70 pad around that. So you won't have a whole lot of washout. That's important, okay? Compaction test. We're going to ask you to, whoever does your pad, it's important to get them to do a compaction test. Verify moisture content. It should be 0 to 15%. That's all included in the compaction test. All right, that's going to prevent settling, because you got to think about it. If you have a lot of moisture in your clay or in your pad, as it dries, it's going to shrink on you. Okay, so this is a point that I'm talking about. This is grass, and I've seen people put a building right up on that. This is degrass. This is the best way to do it. And then you can see the topsoil. If you go to the next page, he's digging out the topsoil to get down to the clay pan, okay? This is a good picture of it. So you can see the perimeter of this customer's building, all this around there. They dug out the topsoil, and they're coming in with a good clay base to form up their pad. Okay, let's see. All right, and here you can see at the end, he's going to roll this big deal on there to compact it. And then, of course, they're going to show how they take a compaction test. Very simple test, but it comes into play. You want to know what your compaction is. All right, what's fill sand? So that's part of one process that we ask you, the customer, to do. A lot of people don't understand that, but this is something that needs to be done before we build your building. Have that pad ready, okay? Now, let's understand what fill sand is used for. Okay, this is after you've done your pad and we've built your building. We have erected your building, okay? To even out any small fluctuations in the foundation's elevation. So, clay is kind of, when you squeeze it like this, it's kind of clumpy. So it's going to hold, it's going to pack down. Fill sand is to even out the ground so we can come up to the proper grade, okay, as you can see in this picture. It's meant to fill gaps, not to raise the entire foundation. This is what's very important that a lot of people don't understand. So you really don't want to exceed about 4 to 6 inches of fill sand. That's getting too high, and you don't want to exceed that, because sand kind of washes away. So keep that in mind. Fill sand over 6 inches creates instability. Okay, so basically, if you look at this picture, we're going to come in with the sand. It's easier to spread. We grade it out. We can get it smoother. We can get it to your grade, whether you're doing a 6-inch slab or a 4-inch slab. We're going to come in here. We're going to ask you to buy the sand. once you have the sand on your property, we're going to come in, our team's going to come in with the equipment needed, and we're going to grade out your building, getting it prepared for the concrete. All right, so this is a perfect example of this building is not ready to take fill sand, okay? If a customer asks us to do this, I'm gonna tell them that is way too high. Now over here is the way it needs to be. So what probably happened is this pad wasn't even and it wasn't done correctly where they wanted to put their building. And you must understand that the building has to be level. So we start from the highest point when we start erecting your building, and we got to make it level. If not, it's not going to work out. It has to be level, which means that where this customer wanted their building, it's sticking out. You can see this is 2 or 3 foot above. What has to happen there? This is where it gets kind of touchy, folks. So we're going there to do a job to put fill sand in. This is going to take some more clay, okay? Some more pad material. Now, the problem with that is we're not going to be able to compact it. We are going to have to stay there longer on the job, so there's probably going to be a charge for this. We're going to have to ask the customer to bring in not only just fill sand to do what we was going to do there, but now we're going to have to ask this customer to bring in some clay, some 60-40 clay, so we can put in there to fill the gap in, and you're probably going to need to put some around. So this will cause an extra charge, okay? So, I mean, you know, customers must understand that this is this comes up from time to time, and this is unpredictable. We can't predict that this is going to happen. So when we sell you a building, this is not in the equation. So be prepared to pay extra for something like this, because we have to stay there longer. We have to now put 60-40 in your building just to get it up to the point where we can put a good fill sand so we can grade it out. But also remember that we're not held liable for compaction now, because now you can't really compact a pad after your building's erected, okay? So this could run into this problem, all right? Impacts of poor foundation. So if you don't get a proper foundation, this could happen. Not necessarily always going to happen, because we don't have weight on the slab. In post frame, it's not like stick frame where you're building, or red iron for that matter, where we're building the structure on top of the slab, where everything is weighted down on the slab. The good news is post frame, there's no weight at all on the slab, so it's better chance of not cracking now, you know, than as of a stick frame or red iron. Okay, cracking and settle, uneven surface leads to slab failure, moisture issues. Excess sand retains water, leading to shifting. Think about it. If I'm bringing, you saw the picture before, if I'm bringing fresh sand there, or clay, and then I'm going to be pouring your slab, it's going to probably shrink a little bit, okay? So, structural expensive repairs after all this. So you really need a good pad, folks. We recommend you get a pad. I showed you the page of the concrete. It's black and white. We let you know that from the beginning, okay? So understanding our concrete process. So after we got you to grade and we're ready to pour your concrete, let's see what's going to happen. All right, so here's one right here. Now, you can see that this is too wet. We probably told the customer we're going to have to wait and dry this out. Understand that if we were to put sand on this, all this water in this building is going to evaporate. It's going to shrink. So what's going to happen is if I go in there and grade this building out today, like it is, when we go to pour your concrete, you're more liable to have more concrete, and you're going to be responsible for the overages. So if we tell you that it's too wet, I would suggest listen to us, because This needs to be dry so we can put sand on it so you won't have any shrinkage. That way you won't go over on your concrete, okay? There's a lot of stuff that plays in part of this, but if you take into account, it wasn't like the other picture. This is a good example of, okay, this building just needs some fill sand. So we're gonna go in there and we're gonna put fill sand. Let's see. All right, here it is. So that building dried. We had to wait a little while. Once it got dry, we went in here and we put fill sand. You can see that we're bringing it to grade. It's a lot smoother than the picture before, okay? This is the picture before. You see all the undulations in the ground, and the dips and the different things. And when it dries, it's going to shrink a little bit, so we're going to need a little bit more sand. But anyway, here's what happens. We come in there and we grade it down. This is by the picture, a 6-inch slab. We're going to take measurements all the way down your building and make sure when we leave that it is graded at the proper grade for you to receive your concrete. All right. After you saw that picture, we come in there and we put the 6 mil membrane down, or visqueen, however you want to say it, and then we put our cable retention system in. You can see from post to post, we use aircraft cable from post to post and diagonal, all the way down and horizontally and vertically down there, and that's what's gonna your concrete's gonna sit on. Oops. Okay. And then we come in with the concrete. We're pouring that concrete. Okay, and that's going to make for a good finish. So there you have it. That's the process. All right. After that, if you bought an elite building, we're going to go back and cut control joints. You don't have to have them. We recommend it. This is going to tell you your concrete where to crack. Important takeaways about your concrete. Okay, absolutely no weight on the slab. This is what I was referring to earlier. In post frame, there's no weight on the slab. All your weight is on the post. So therefore, you have a better chance for less cracking for sure. Okay, a good slab needs a good foundation, as we talked about. Proper ratio of clay and sand. That's what we mean when you don't want to come too high up with just sand. Sand's going to fall out. Okay, compacted with 0 to 15% moisture. Larger than your building's base. That's when I said I would really prefer your pad to be 5 foot around the diameter of your building. So if you're a 30-foot wide building, go 40 foot. That's going to be 5 foot on each side. Okay? Everything is laid out in our contract. We go over this every time someone buys a building. We lay it out and you sign for it, telling you exactly what's going to happen and what we recommend happen. Okay, bringing in 64 clay mix after construction. We just kind of went over that. I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time on this, but there is some risk factors in that. For instance, you saw that picture. We got to bring in the 60/40 after the building is erected. We can do it. It's not a problem. We're going to take care of it. There could be a charge though, because we're going to have to be there longer. It's going to take more dirt, and then we got to do the fill sand. That's the job we went there to do, okay? And here's more risk factors. You know, waste material increases cost. So it all boils down to what I just told you. It's probably gonna be a more of a cost to you because you got to come up so high, and we don't like to put that fill sand more than 4 to 6 inches. So you're gonna need to bring in some more clay, and we're gonna spread that out for you. But it's not compacted, okay? Improper compaction here, see, it's telling you what I said. All right, now, off of that, I hope I brought a little bit of attention to how that goes through. If you got any questions, please give me a call. Our building specialist also can help you, but I'd love to talk to you more about it. So here we go. Here's a couple of funny videos we got. We got congratulations, you bought a cheaper building. Congratulations, you bought a cheaper building. This is what I was talking about earlier. We use engineered mono truss. This is a galvanized building, and it probably had some very wide rafters or C-purlings or whatever they call them there. So I hope I brought a little bit of education to you. That's what we like to do here. We like to educate our customers. And like I said, if you do have questions about the process, give us a call. We'd love to talk to you about it. Also, you know, you can ask our building specialists about our ambassadors close to us, and we have plenty of them out there. If you want to see a real building near you, our building specialist can help you with that. And then you could talk to a real customer about their experience with us here at Mallet. Okay, so don't forget, if you're out there shopping for a building, bring in your quote to us. We're going to go by our spec sheet. We're going to show you the difference, and we'll beat them by $1,000, apples to apples. The best part is you get all of this for free. You get 26 years of the business. I mean, we're the kings of post frame. Nobody builds a building like we do, and that's a fact. I can promise you. Even our value building is better than all our competitors. You really want a building that lasts forever. You get up to the elite status or the elite series here, and nobody builds that building in the country. Okay, that's our show today, folks. We appreciate your business. We'll see you tomorrow.
At Mallet Buildings, we